Welcome, everyone. This is our Wellness Wednesdays installment with me, Dr. Deedra Mason, the Director of Clinical Education and Research for Market America and our professional division, nutraMetrix Custom Health Solutions. And I'm joined here today with Brandi Murphy.
Hello, everyone.
Brandi is our Director of nutraMetrix, again, the professional channel of Market America. Today we wanted to come to you on our Wellness Wednesdays to discuss a little bit about DSHEA, which is the Dietary Supplement Health Education Act. This was enacted in 1994 as an aspect to protect the consumer, clients, and patients in the nutraceutical industry, kind of defining what a nutraceutical or a supplement was. Now, Brandi, when you invited me, or when we discussed rather this topic, there were some things that you thought were important that we discuss with the field. I thought social media aspects of DSHEA and staying DSHEA compliant was important. What did you think was important about this seminar?
There's so many reasons why distributors and unfranchised owners, nutrametrics consultants, health professionals need to understand what they can and can't say about products. Because and you mentioned social media being a good example of where somebody could cross the line and they could make a claim without even realizing they're making a claim about what a product does. But oftentimes we'll see unfranchised owner passing around testimonials about products via email. We'll see them blogging about products, or even on their own website trying to put up some sort of description of what a product can and can't do. And there's really some rules about what you can and can't say about products, and we wanted to make sure that people understood how to play within bounds, follow the rules, and not create any issues by saying something that they're not allowed to say.
Right. So when we think about staying within safe harbor, we think about saying things that support the use of nutraceuticals in everyday life, and doing what I like to say is filling gaps where people's diet falls short or their lifestyle puts them at risk. It's important to know that when we discuss the benefits of nutraceuticals, their features, advantages, and benefits, that we know a little bit about the rules that regulate them. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about DSHEA, and then we'll talk a little bit about the language of nutraceuticals, or what you can and cannot say. And then we'll talk a little bit about social media. DSHEA, as I said, was an act that was put into place. It is called the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. It was put into place in 1994. This is because the FDA recognized that there was a need for higher regulations, or that there was a need for higher oversight of the nutraceutical industry. And because nutraceuticals or food supplements are neither they are neither considered or categorized a food nor a drug, we needed a new class for them. We needed to have their own brand, as it were, and that was supplement or nutraceutical. The supplement industry is in fact regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, through the Education Act called DSHEA. DSHEA set forth in front of Congress some important steps, or some important attributes of the supplement industry. In short, they made sure that supplements were safe for consumption. The FDA made sure to regulate the fact that those that manufacture supplements, and this became very strict in June of 2009, that manufacturers needed to follow what are called good manufacturing practices. The FDA audits nutraceutical companies, their manufacturers, or their vendors to ensure that they are GMP compliant. In addition to that, they made sure that the nutraceutical industry doesn't make any fantastic claims about what a product can or cannot do. And they also make sure that products not just safe for consumption, but also what is on the label is actually what's in the bottle. So they put out extra efforts to make sure that products were not adulterated, to make sure that products did not make fantastic claims about treating, curing, or mitigating a disease. Now, the reason, Brandi, why that was so important is because claims about treating, curing, and mitigating a disease are claims that are set forth only for drugs. And the reason why I want you guys to know why that didn't make the nutraceutical, that wasn't a compromise in the case of the nutraceutical industry. It was actually something that protected the consumer of vitamins, supplements, and food-based nutrition options. It was something that gave the consumer, the client, or the patient access to healthcare items like vitamin C, like omega-3 fatty acids, to kind of take into their own hands steps that they would want to take to be healthy. Should these have been regulated as a drug, or were drug claims allowed for nutraceuticals, they would only be allowed in the hands of health professionals with prescribing rights. So I wanted everyone to know that while the FDA is demonized, they in fact allowed the nutraceutical industry to stay intact. They just made sure that there were higher safety levels. And that's something that we're seeing more and more of. We're seeing stronger efforts made towards keeping products, manufacturers in safe harbor themselves. One of the more important things that I would say to RN franchise owners, our health professionals, and their nutraMetrix consultants is that you have a job in keeping us in safe harbor, as well as your own business in safe harbor. If you make a claim that does not support the structure or function of a body part, and then attach that claim to a disease state, you're not just putting yourself, your own business at risk, but you're putting the company at risk of an FTC or an FDA violation. And we're seeing more and more of those happen. I hear in 2014, where companies, in particular through social media, are making claims about what their products can do, and they're reaching way past what DSHEA allowed for, which was only talking about what a product could do as it relates to supporting physiology, supporting structure, and function. Now, I know that you put together a really good program for our nutraMetrix consultants, Brandi, to talk about DSHEA, what you can and cannot say. Would you like to give us some examples?
Yeah, I would love to, because we are given inaccurate examples in the media all the time. You'll hear companies that pay for advertising on the radio, and they go ahead and they violate DSHEA because they build into their advertising plan that if they get called by the FDA or the FTC for making inaccurate claims over the radio, that they're willing to pay fines for those claims. Sometimes they look at it and they say, well, the risk of I'm going to generate so much more business by saying something I'm not supposed to say.
But you can lose 14 pounds in a week.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Sometimes we'll hear radio ads that will say, take this pill and lose 14 pounds overnight. And we know that, number one, that's misleading the consumer. We know, number two, that it's probably not healthy for the consumer. And we know, number three, that that is not an approved structure function claim. So that company is taking a risk. So the first thing I wanted to share with all of our franchise owners is just because you hear another company making outlandish claims doesn't mean we should, right? Just because you see a print ad that has cures or treatments listed doesn't mean that they are within legal bounds. So don't look to other companies for guidance. What we created in the nutraMetrix consultant training is a section on what you can and cannot say about health professionals, and I'm going to share with you some of the examples. So for example, we have some products that we know we've had patients or customers who use certain products experience relief of certain symptoms. We have to be very careful to talk about the way that those patients experience that relief of symptoms without leading anybody to believe that those symptoms were cured or the patient was treated by the nutraceutical. So let's give the example of it. If somebody has an allergy and they go to their health professional because they want relief of their allergy symptoms. Well, let's think about what some allergy symptoms are. Somebody that has an allergy issue might be experiencing sneezing. They might be experiencing itchy, watery eyes. They might be experiencing congestion or a runny nose. We cannot say that one of our products cured a patient of their runny nose. We can't say that that we had relief of allergy symptoms, relief of itchy, watery eyes. What we can do is talk about the structure or function in the body where that nutraceutical worked, and we can talk specifically about those. So approved claims for allergy-related conditions would be, can provide seasonal upper respiratory challenge relief, promote upper respiratory health, or improve overall well-being. That sounds a lot different than saying so-and-so used this product to completely get rid of their allergies. Do you see the difference there?
I see the difference, and I want to take it one step further with our nutraMetrix consultants who detail healthcare providers on the benefits of nutraceuticals within the practice. And I think it's important as nutraMetrix consultants, if you're one of our nutraMetrix consultants, to think about this idea of treating, curing, or mitigating a disease as it relates to what the health professional already knows to be true. If someone were to come into me, Brandi, and tell me that a product can cure asthma, currently there's really no cure for asthma, and I'm going to be very skeptical. Right? What I want to know is that there are alternatives to maybe some of the medical interventions or pharmaceutical interventions I currently use for asthma to see if I can reduce the frequency, duration, or severity of a patient's asthma attack. and say by supporting upper airways, by supporting the body's immune response, by helping the body maintain a natural inflammatory response or an appropriate inflammatory response, we see that many allergy sufferers or those that suffer from allergy have will report that they have a decreased frequency, duration, or severity of their issues. And you'll see that what I used there were words like support, assist, and maintain. Those are all the DSHEA compliant terms.
You know, a lot of times people will ask us when we talk about this with them in person, they'll say to us, well, how do we learn this? Where do we find approved product claims? And my answer is always on our website or in our existing marketing materials. Our attorneys have gone through and made sure that the claims that we're providing in writing meet the DSHEA guidelines. So if you go to, for example, one of our product detail pages on any one of our websites, whether it be the nutraMetrix.com site, whether it be a custom mini website, whether it be the shop.com portal, whether it be our unfranchise.com back office, and you pull up the product detail page, there's going to be a button where you can look for product information, and you'll see a list of features and benefits. Under those features and benefits, it will say what the approved claims are.
Right.
So let's say a product was created to try to assist people with seasonal issues, right? We might see an approved product benefit claim that says supports the immune system or boosts immune function. You're not going to see a claim that says prevents cold and flu, but by supporting immune function, your body can do what it was supposed to do. So you're working on the underlying condition, you're focusing on the system, you're focusing on supporting that system with nutraceuticals so the body can function optimally. We're not treating, we're not prescribing, we're not mitigating any disease. What we're doing is supporting body systems, and that in turn helps the way that the patient experiences the symptoms.
Exactly. You know, something that comes up a lot when either detailing or profiling a product to a healthcare provider, or even just speaking to the people that you work with and play with about the benefits of a product. Many times the idea of literature comes up to support a scientific claim, and this is somewhere where I believe that nutraMetrix, as our professional division, really excels, not just because we've given access to resources like the features, advantages, and benefits, the science claims through our portal, the references there, but also the fact that we use clinically tested or clinically studied ingredients. And so one of the things when it comes to being DSHEA compliant, Brandi, that I want everyone to know is that it is possible to cite a clinical study. For example, pycnogenol has over 300 clinical studies that support its use in many chronic complaints, support its use in many day-to-day issues, and can be an alternative or a complement to medical care that people are already seeking. And so it's important, as we say DSHEA compliant, that we don't make the mistake of saying nutraMetrix OPC3 and then attaching that to a study on endometriosis, or attaching that to a study on asthma or even high blood pressure. It's important that when the word nutraMetrix or Market America falls in front of the word magnesium or vitamin C, that we're very clear about our intention or our words. And we use things like aid, assist, may help, supports, and maintains, as opposed to saying that there's a clinical study on pycnogenol versus nutraMetrix OPC3. Saying things like pycnogenol is one of the more clinically studied ingredients found in the nutraceutical industry. We use an isotonic form of pycnogenol. It's really important that we differentiate when we do want to talk about the clinically supported ingredients, that we limit our discussion to those clinically supported ingredients to that study and only use the word pycnogenol or tonillin. Never put the word Market America, isotonics, or one of our unique brands, including nutraMetrix, in front of that word. By doing that, you've implied, if you put nutraMetrix magnesium or nutraMetrix OPC3 in front of a disease claim or a clinical study claim or result or outcome, you've now made the implied claim that, one, your product was the one that was in the clinical study instead of just the ingredient, and you've implied a claim that you can treat or mitigate a disease with your product, and that's a DSHEA violation.
Right, and the FDA and the FTC are going after companies that are violating this on social media, and we've just seen on the news quite a bit lately that several companies have received warning letters from the FDA for their They're independent contractors, they're distributors, they're reps, they're affiliates making unapproved claims, drug claims,
Right,
via
fantastic
social
claims.
media. And just so that you're aware, what ends up happening there is, let's say you have, we're not talking about our company right now, let's say that you have a network marketing company that has a product line and they have 25,000 independent affiliates out there promoting their website. It's really difficult for any company to monitor what each of those 25,000 people are saying. And the responsibility really falls on each one of those reps to know what they can and can't say about their products. So there's companies out there that are finding it's hard to police that. So we don't want to be one of those companies.
No.
We want to be working with a group of professional people that understand DSHEA, that understand what they can and can't say about products, and stick to our approved claims, right? Follow the guidelines that we give you, follow our lead, use company approved literature only, don't create your own literature, don't go out spreading a bunch of testimonials that say that one of your customers or one of your clients was cured by something, or they were healed of whatever condition they had. Let's give a couple of more examples just so people are familiar with it. Sometimes people will take a nutraceutical because they're having a cholesterol issue, right? One of the things we cannot do is say that a specific product reduces total cholesterol or lowers triglyceride levels. We can't say that. That would be in violation of DSHEA. What we can say, following the line of supporting the structure or function in the body, is supports, maintains, or promotes healthy or normal cholesterol levels. Now, if you want to know what product does that, you can go to your website and in the search bar, type in the word cholesterol. And the search bar will look for what product has that approved claim in it, and it will give you a list of products that have those approved claims in their title. That will help you match what some of the products are to the approved claims that are allowed for them. Because what ends up happening when affiliates or reps or franchise owners for any company violate that, it puts the entire company at risk. And that is not something that we want to have happen.
No. Let's talk a little bit about where there are, where this will classically happen, or where you may see more of a, where you may see more of an issue with these types of claims. Or let's talk a little bit about how the FDA or the FTC, what they have to say, the ones that they're really looking for, the types of claims that they're really looking for. In particular, pain management is a major hot button or red flag to the FDA, not just in social media, but in general. Making any claim that a product can treat pain, cure pain, even lessen or lower pain. What we are able to do is support natural pathways in the body that can maintain healthy response, immune response, that can support the body in a way to decrease discomfort or to support the body. Even things like headache are considered red flag type terms. So it's head discomfort. And again, just like Brandi said, you're going to see those types of claims or those supported benefit claims in our product literature on the website. You're always going to see us speaking in those terms as well. Something else that's important to pay attention to, because we have a unique advantage with our low glycemic impact eating TLS weight management solutions. We have this fantastic program out there, and it's really possible when we see our patients and our clients getting such great results to start making some pretty fantastic claims. So this is another place where the FDA and the FTC are in particular paying close attention to what is said in social media, or is said in product literature, or said in public forums. So when it comes to weight loss, whether it's your own personal experience or someone that you've helped through to their weight loss goals, meet those goals, you always want to make sure that you make claims about the products in our TLS program, core, the active or clinically tested ingredient Leptocor, green coffee bean, Garcinia cambogia, thermochrome, whatever it is that you're looking at. You want to make sure that you say supporting healthy weight loss, healthy metabolism in combination with healthy diet and exercise. Those are some magic words to keep you in safe harbor. These products were able in an 8-week study to show support, or Leptocor was shown in an 8-week study to support healthy weight loss on average about 14 pounds in that 8-week period of time in combination with healthy diet and exercise. And you find yourself in safe harbor when you start talking about realistic numbers, when you start talking about realistic time goals or time periods to lose weight, and you always link any weight loss claim with, alongside, or in combination with healthy diet and exercise.
And you let them know that their individual results may vary. We're not guaranteeing anything. You know, you can't recommend a product to somebody, know that they're going to take it once instead of taking the whole thing, and then they're going to say this product didn't work. Individual results vary based on, did they follow healthy eating and exercise? Right. Did they take the product as directed? So we don't want to guarantee anything for them. Let them know these results may vary. And you'll see that in all of our marketing materials and literature. So we just wanted to give you some suggestions that you can follow. The slides are available for download, the ones that we teach at the NC training that go into much more detail and give a lot of examples so you can actually see them on a slide, are available for download under the nutraMetrix tab of unfranchise.com. If you are not a nutraMetrix consultant, check with somebody on your team who works with a nutraMetrix consultant, and they can get those slides for you. We're going to strongly encourage that any nutraMetrix consultant does a coring with their team to help their team practice and rehearse how to talk about our products in terms of being in DSHEA compliance, not talking about treating disease, not talking about treating symptoms, but instead talking about supporting specific structures and functions in the body. If you take this information and you train your team on it, you know that your entire team will be working together successfully to ensure that nobody comes after you for making improper claims. Right. Because if the company is attacked because an independent unfranchised owner does step out of bounds, that could really impact everybody, right?
Right.
And we don't want to see that happen.
You guys, we really want to thank you for your time on this meet-on unfranchise.meeton.com and the nutraMetrix channel. My name is Dr. Deedra Mason. I'm the Director of Clinical Education and Research for Market America and nutraMetrix. And I want to thank Brandi for being a part of my Wellness Wednesdays. Brandi is, of course, our Director of nutraMetrix, and it was my pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you for having me. And we do have one question that just came in that was, can we make those slides available to the entire field, not just nutraMetrix? And I'll talk with some of the teams and see if we can make those slides available for the entire field in a not branded as nutraMetrix, but branded for everybody, and put them on download.
That seems reasonable. That seems reasonable. So you'll see underneath our picture either a text chat box or a questions box, and you can type in either one of those and ask us questions. We'll go ahead and stay on the line and help you with any of your questions as it relates to DSHEA or your business. One of the things that's being put through here is any plans to include mandatory DSHEA training in the new distributor training, and
we can
I think it's
that.
I think it's a great idea.
It will be discussed at Product Symposium, so anybody that will be attending the upcoming Product Symposium will learn more about DSHEA and the role of the FDA and what can and can be said about products. But it looks like we don't have any other questions, just lots of great comments and thank yous coming in. We appreciate you guys taking the time to spend some time with us this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you again on Meet On. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. So the reason why, and I didn't tell you this, but the reason why I always say goodbye is because I can cut it off.
Yeah.
And then I can answer questions and I don't have to worry about my questions.